Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Nicole Oman and this is Woman, Mother, Priestess. I am your guide on helping you transform into a beautiful, magical, empowered woman. So today we are talking about how to transform your mundane, routine sex life in your married partnership into a transcendental, magical, and healing experience. Now, the reason why I know how to do this is because I've been in my own relationship for 19 years. I've been married for 13. And I have to say, having a transcendental and magical sexual experience with my husband is a cultivated experience. It's something that we have prioritized and we have worked on over the course of our relationship. However, you can transform your relationship and your sexual life into something that feels obligated or routine, into something that can be out of this world, literally, magical and spiritual, connected and intimate. It takes specific foundational steps, but this is a relationship that you both can build together, and it can be one that creates a bond of communication, love, and trust. So I wanted to give you a couple of core foundational ways to help you set the stage to creating spontaneity, desire, and also excitement back into your love life. I think the first thing is we have to admit to ourselves that maybe we have some resistance on being intimate with our partner. It may be those mundane excuses. We are tired, we are busy, we have the kids. I know I have two of them myself. And maybe even the spark has died because we get so caught up in our mundane stresses, caught into our mundane routine. You can't spell routine without the word rut. So if we're in a rut, I want you to admit to yourself that you're in a rut. First step, hi, my name is Nicole and I am in a rut. And that's okay. That doesn't necessarily mean that you will always be in that rut, but it is going, okay, I admit that maybe I haven't been putting in the effort. Okay, maybe he hasn't been putting in the effort, and maybe we haven't been putting in the effort. As we admit that we have a rut, it's not to build this shame or blame mentality. It's about identifying that maybe this is an area that we would want to put more priority. Routine is a really beautiful place to start. So if you look at where your routine is, that's where you're putting your time, energy, and maybe even money, right? And so that is what your reality is going to be. Your routine creates your reality. But if we prioritize things like connecting with the person that we love and prioritize that, then we can start making them and ourselves be the priority in this connection, to be the priority. That is a core foundation of the happiness that might be in your relationship and in your sacred family. Okay. So the first step is, okay, I might be in a rut. The second step is that you have, knowing that you have the ability to change it with a few simple, kind of fun techniques. First, it's being honest with your partner that maybe this is a need for you. A big thing with women is when we have a need that's not being met, we can get irritated, angry, frustrated, and maybe even shut down because we have a need and we don't realize the reason why we're feeling this way is because there's a need not being met. So we just walk around with this state of irritation or frustration or shutdown with not asking, why am I feeling irritated, frustrated, and shut down around my partner? Good thing to notice, if you are feeling this way, it's putting it upon yourself to go, what is the need? What are the needs in my intimate life that aren't being met? And why? Okay, so it's not frequent enough, it's not connected, I feel obligated. What is the need that would get, what is the need that you have? And what do you need to get your need met, right? So if it's a frequency issue, do you need more? If it is an obligatory issue, why is there this disconnect, right? That it's obligated and not inspired? Are you not feeling beautiful? Are you not feeling safe? And is there any way that your partner can give you that particular need? Or is it something even closer to home within yourself that you can focus on to get that need either met, established, or communicated? Okay. So I'll give you an example. For me personally, a lot of times in my relationship, I want him to pursue me, or he wants me to pursue him. So we get in this thing where nobody initiates. And then what happens is nobody initiates. We both might have that desire, or at least an inkling of desire, but because nobody makes the move, we sleep back to back and nobody says anything. And so nothing sparks. So what's the need? The need is sometimes I'm feeling it and you don't do anything about it. And so then we just fall asleep. The funny thing is, I've told my husband this before, and he has said, well, that's funny because I feel the same way. So why aren't we connecting? Why aren't we initiating? Is it a feeling of embarrassment? Is it a feeling of shame? Is it a feeling of waiting for the other person, like a tit for tat thing, like waiting for the other person to make that move? So what I would say in that particular scenario is, what is your turn on? What is your ignition point? What turns you on and what turns you off? And also asking your partner the same thing. What is his ignition point and what is his shutdown button? Knowing these buttons. Now, look, we're women. I get it. The button kind of changes. And then it also like changes the place where the button is pushed, and we want our magical partner to know exactly like what we're feeling and what mood we're in that moment, and what magical spot on our body is the point of ignition for that particular night. That would be great if he was a mind reader and some magical energy reader that could like, oh, today it's your neck and today it's your rubbing your hands or whatever that might be. But they're not. Nobody is, okay? I do energy work and we still are like, I don't know, it changes, right? It's a mood thing. I get it. But there are certain things for a lot of us that are consistent. I'm a neck girl. I like my neck, right? My husband kind of knows that now, and he can kind of start rubbing on my neck, and all of a sudden my tension starts going away. And there's also certain ways, not just physically, but also communication wise, that we can start communicating our needs or communicating if we're in the mood, right? That isn't a turn off. So it's finding these kind of consistent. Okay, this usually can kind of turn me on. And if it somehow switches to a turn off, it's beautiful to communicate that to your partner. That's not working for me tonight. Can we try something else? So we can start this ignition point right off the bat, because the ignition point is such an important moment to like set the tone. Okay. One of the things that really worked for us is learning our love languages. If you don't know what your love language is, I would go Google it. What's your love language? There's 5. Now, okay, sometimes they kind of shift around, and yeah, you might like all of them. But the main thing that me and my husband started with is his was his biggest turn on is physical touch. And mine is words of affirmation. I like to talk. Ta-da! How do we get physical touch and words of affirmation on the same page? We had different love languages. So the way to, part of my turn on is having a stimulated conversation. I like a good conversation. I like feeling connected mentally because sometimes I pop into my head. He likes to be in his body. He's very five senses oriented. And so we come from different approaches. I'm mentally stimulated. He's physically stimulated. But what we came to realize is if I massage him, massage his feet, massage his hands, rub on his body, and I talk, he is more engaged. When I was just talking without the physical touch, he would get tired and I would get frustrated. With his, if I got the physical didn't necessarily do it. So he would touch me for a little bit and I'd be like, okay, right? I needed a little bit more. With knowing these needs, this is going back to the needs department. Knowing the needs, you can find where you can compromise to kind of close the gap between your ignition point. Let's get this ball rolling, right? That also, when you know what your need is and you know what your language is, then you can start feeling seen, heard, and met, right? So when we feel seen for what we need, then we feel safer. We feel more trusting of our partner. And we also feel more engaged. And so do they. Believe it or not, men like to have their needs met too. Ta-da! So it would be really cool. One of the things to kind of get you guys on the same page is get you into your love language, see if they match, see if they don't, and see where they link. If you can link two opposite love languages, then you are both honoring each other's needs. Usually when we have a need, the way that we try to get our need met is by giving our partner what we need, but it might not be what they want or what they need. So we have to ask them and we have to kind of figure out what that need looks like for us and kind of communicate that to them and play with it. Know that, it's not a perfect system right away. It's a practice, a sexual practice, if you will. And if you think of it in that way, right, it doesn't have to be obligatory anymore. It could be something that is cultivated and built so that you can have more transcendental experiences. I will tell you that the way that Ryan and I, my husband and I, have cultivated our life together and our intimate life together, I have beautiful visuals, like I'm on psychedelics and I don't need them. I have energy that moves through my body. I can have orgasms in different parts of my body by really pulling my energy into the body and allowing that to open up different aspects of myself. If you know what chakras are, these beautiful bowls are chakra singing bowls right behind me. I can have orgasms in different chakras because I know how to move the energy. He knows how to send energy to me and help me heal my body if I'm going through grief or sadness or anxiety. And I know how to do that for him. But that is something we cultivated. I'm giving you foundational tips to do this, but in my in videos to come, I will be giving you tips on how to have these more advanced and complicated experiences. The third tip that I would like to say before you have these transcendental experiences is creating a certain container. This could be a set and a setting, if you will. What I like to do before sessions is I like to create a space for us to have a spiritual experience. The way that I do that, I have a little altar set up in my room and my work room here. And with the things that I have on the altar, there's crystals, there's a beautiful statue that I have here with the Sri Yantra in the back. The Sri Yantra is the representation of divine masculine energy and the divine feminine energy in perfect harmony. This statue here is called Ardhanar Ishvara. It is a Indian deity that is the blend of Shiva, the masculine, divine masculine, and Shakti, the divine feminine energy, in harmony with one another. One side is feminine, one side is masculine. And we are so into our practice together that we want to harmonize our masculine and feminine tendencies within our own self, but also really balance each other in our masculine and feminine tendencies and work together in harmony with one another. So because of our tantric practice, because of our intimate transcendental sexual experiences, we have beautiful statues and things that represent this work in our house, which creates the set and setting for that. I then light a candle with an intention. What do I want from this practice? What am I needing from this practice tonight? I'm feeling really sensitive. So my practice with my husband tonight is going to be met in that place where I feel vulnerable, right in my heart. And I light the candle with that intention, and I share that. Are you in the place to meet me in my most tender place, which isn't my lower extremities? It's right here. I need to be loved on tonight. Are you willing to give that to me? And if he says yes, then we start kind of communicating with each other. Well, what do you need? Well, I need gentle touch tonight. Oh, beautiful. So he can start meeting me there. Sometimes it's like, just tonight I need something that's a little bit more like, I need to lose control a little bit and you need to take control. Oh, okay. What does that look like? Again, women, our mood changes like the weather, right? So we have to be honest with, we have to be really connected to what we're feeling and communicate that. That's part of the sentence setting of feeling safe. A container is all about feeling safe. So we have to use certain things like intention, creating the mood, lighting the candle. And then I love music. I have playlists for my moods. Seriously, I do. I have one, I call it my shaman Shakti playlist. And it is there, the song, it's mostly like drumming and musical, kind of like this really kind of sexy Middle Eastern kind of music. And one of the songs, it goes, and so every time I go, what's your mood tonight, hun? And he's like, I'm like, okay, we're doing that one. Because I usually dance, and I usually get into my body beforehand. And so it really, when we hear that music, we're like Pavlovian dogs, and we're like, okay, we're in. So you can create mood playlists. You can create your sexy time playlists. And some of them are already like kind of set up, right? You can kind of look it up, like sensual playlists or whatnot. Or you can find a vibe that you like and take the song of the vibe that you like and create a radio station on your Spotify. And we go down a rabbit hole with really beautiful music. And that really does create a set and a setting for you. Creating that sense of mood and vibe will help you guys get on the same page. There's something around sound and intention that really links two people together. I want to leave you with this. These are all very fundamental things, but I want to leave you with this. Allow yourself to communicate. It might feel like overkill, but to be honest with you, we all want to be really amazing lovers right off the bat, or even if we've been in our relationship for 20 years. There's still things about your partner and their needs that you don't know about, and vice versa. And I'm going to even give you a bigger whammy. There's things that you like that you don't know you like yet. I'm still discovering things that I like. And I'm like, oh, I thought I thought that was taboo. I thought that was going to be painful. I thought that that was not going to be something that I enjoyed, and I love it. And then there's certain times that I'm not in the mood to do those things. So know that there's so much to explore in this realm. And the more that we express, and we do it in such a beautiful, safe manner, even especially with our partner. I have to say, you know, a lot of people are doing this type of work and they're single or they have multiple partners and whatnot. But I will tell you that doing this type of work, creating a transcendental experience in your sex life with your married partner, is the most rewarding. That, for me, is the most rewarding, because it's not in a foundation of potential. It's not in a foundation of projection. What me being in a pragmatic, committed relationship does is it cultivates a certain essence of safety, and it already is cultivated an essence of love. You've been through some stuff together, right? And when we've been through stuff together, yes, there might be baggage, but there's also roots. There's also a certain level of emotional and mental intimacy that's already cultivated. There's a certain level of trust that might be already at your foundational level. And that can be the fuel for a transcendental sexual practice in your relationship right now. To build your trust with your partner is the most intimate experience that you can cultivate. I noticed, because of my childhood and my background and whatnot, I had a really hard time trusting. And what I had to do is realize that this person in front of me was trustworthy. And the more that I allowed myself to trust, my whole body opened up and beautiful and magical things happened. So start with those couple of beautiful things, okay? So I'd start with, let's recap a little bit. Start with your needs. What are your needs? Start with your particular routine. Where are you? Where is your rut? What are you prioritizing? And can you prioritize your connection with your partner? And then communicate that want to your partner and see if they would be willing to also prioritize it, maybe this weekend. Then go to what your needs are, right? And that vibe, that ignition point, if you will, okay? What are you needing in that moment? Are you needing some tenderness tonight and some cuddles and some sweetness? And that's the way that we want to kind of set the stage for that ignition? Or do you need something a little bit more passionate, more visceral, more physical, or something in between? I don't know what you need. You need to ask yourself that, and see if your partner would be willing to give you and meet you in that place. That will bring you to your intention. Set your set and setting, right? That will help you when you figure out what your need is. Then you'll know, oh, that's the mood I'm in. That's the song I want, right? And then create a mood for that setting. Light a candle, set your intention, ask your husband or your partner to set their intention, and then put the music on and see and keep feeling into yourself. Can you touch me here? Can you just sit here and hold me here? I need to just be held. Today was a really hard day and I just need to be held for a while and kiss me on my chest until I tell you otherwise. Ladies, you can direct it. I promise. It's okay. You're allowed. And then see if you guys can connect in that way. If it gets awkward at any time, embrace the awkward. Don't let it shut you down. Don't let it get you upset. Sometimes trying something new is awkward, even with somebody you've been with for a long time. And sometimes asking for what you need is vulnerable and awkward. Trust the awkwardness. You can't do something new without feeling awkward. Okay? Allow you guys to fumble a little bit. Don't take it too personally. Just keep moving through it, because those are the places where we feel the most embarrassed or vulnerable. And if we can move through that process, then what's beautiful is that's when those transcendental healing moments spontaneously arise. All right. I hope that helps you. I hope that you have a beautiful, intimate connection with your partner tonight or this weekend or whenever you want to. And if you want some more information, make sure that you subscribe to my channel. You can also book a session with me, and I can help you in your specific need. All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you very soon. Namaste.